Welcome to Long COVID Radical Self-Care, where I provide simple, non-medical tips and tools to help you on your healing journey. Today I'm going to talk about an easy practice that has scientifically proven physical, mental, and emotional benefits. In the last episode, I talked about the physical and emotional challenges of long COVID and how the whole situation can leave you feeling powerless. I provided a number of suggestions for reclaiming your power, including practicing mindfulness. If you didn't catch that episode, look up episode 17 and watch it after this. Today I want to talk more about mindfulness, what it is, why it helps, and how you can practice it. At its core, mindfulness is about being fully present in the moment, being in the here and now. The fact is that our bodies and minds are often not in the same place. Harvard psychologists Matthew Killingsworth and Daniel Gilbert found that people spend almost 47% of their waking hours thinking about something other than what they're currently doing. How often are you doing one thing and thinking about another? Perhaps when you're driving, you're thinking about what you're going to say when you get there, or what you're going to do that evening. While you're cooking dinner, you're thinking about work, and while you're at work, you're thinking about what you're going to make for dinner, or something your boss or colleague said. Or you're in a meeting or on a call while at the same time texting a friend about what you're going to do on the weekend. Mindfulness is about being in the here and now. Being here means you aren't thinking about what's happening somewhere else or what someone else is doing right now. Being here means you aren't doing two things at once. Mindfulness is the opposite of multitasking. The Cleveland Clinic reports that multitasking or task switching can actually hinder performance. Being here now means you're not thinking about the future, not later today, not tomorrow, not next week. And you're not thinking about the past, not what someone said a few minutes ago or yesterday or 20 years ago. How much time do you spend reliving the past or worrying about the future? Mark Twain said, "I have spent most of my life worrying about things that have never happened." Can you relate? I come from a long line of worriers, so I'm very proficient at it. Author Toby Hansen said, "If you feel anxiety or depression, you are not in the present. You are either anxiously projecting the future or depressed and stuck in the past. The only thing you have any control over is the present moment." When we're contemplating or analyzing past events or worrying about the future, we're giving away the fullness and joy that's available to us today in this moment. That's what's behind Alice Morse Earle's famous quote, "Yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, today is a gift. That's why it's called the present." So what is in the present moment? You are. That's where your power is. That's where joy is. That's where clarity is. That's where healing is. A quote by Masaru Emoto reads, "If you feel lost, disappointed, hesitant, or weak, return to yourself, to who you are, here and now. And when you get there, you will discover yourself like a lotus flower in full bloom, even in a muddy pond, beautiful and strong." Perhaps long COVID is a muddy pond in which you can stand, beautiful and strong. So mindfulness is the practice of being fully in the present moment without judgment. Formal studies on the benefits of mindfulness have been ongoing since 1979, when Dr. Jon Kabat-Zinn developed what would become the mindfulness-based stress reduction program at the University of Massachusetts Medical Center. There are probably hundreds of studies, so I'm not going to go into them. There are even studies of other studies about mindfulness. What's important for you to know is that many of the proven benefits align pretty neatly with the needs of those of us with long COVID. Here are just a few benefits. Mindfulness reduces anxiety, increases general well-being, improves sleep, reduces fatigue, improves mood, reduces brain aging, reduces and prevents depression, improves cognition and working memory, and helps pain management. They sound like pretty good reasons to practice mindfulness to me. And if that isn't enough, Eckhart Tolle said, if you were conscious, that is to say, fully present in the now, all negativity would dissolve almost instantly. It could not survive in your presence. So how do you start to reap the benefits of mindfulness? It's deceptively simple, but that doesn't mean it's easy. It's known as a practice because it's not something you master, a goal you can achieve. It's something you cultivate. Ultimately, mindfulness is a way of life. It's a journey of becoming more present more often. It can start with practicing mindfulness meditation. If you're not one to meditate, don't get thrown off by the label. It can be as simple as taking 5 minutes a day to bring your attention to your breath. But when you start to realize the benefits, you'll probably want to do it longer. Let me guide you through a 4 or 5 minute sample mindfulness meditation right now. Don't do this if you're driving or otherwise not in a safe place to close your eyes and focus. Okay, start by finding a comfortable position, either sitting or lying down. You can close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. Now bring your attention to your body, then to your breath. Notice how your breath enters your body through your nose or your mouth. See if you can follow your breath through to your chest. Observe how your chest rises and falls with each breath. Notice whether you're breathing fast or slow. Notice whether it's deep or shallow. Don't try to change it. Simply notice it. There's no right or wrong, just observation. Now notice whether you're breathing into your diaphragm as well. Is your stomach rising and falling with each breath? If your mind begins to wander, simply bring your attention back to your breath. Don't berate yourself or criticize yourself. Just gently come back to your breath. Just this breath in. Just this breath out. Experience fully the breath that gives you life. Can you bring your attention even closer to it? Can you allow your attention to ride your breath like a wave? If thoughts come to your consciousness, perhaps you can simply observe them like clouds floating past. Perhaps you can observe them without being carried off by them. Use your breath as an anchor. As we prepare to close this short mindfulness practice, congratulate yourself for trying it, for taking a few minutes to experience the present moment more fully. Now bring your attention back to your surroundings and open your eyes when you're ready. That was a very brief sample of mindfulness meditation. It's very simple. The most profound things in life usually are. Jean de la Bruyere summed it up pretty well when she said, "Children have neither a past nor a future. Thus they enjoy the present, which seldom happens to us. But you can increase the amount of time spent in the present moment through mindfulness. There are lots of meditations available online, and there are apps for your phone that allow you to choose times from 5 minutes to an hour. Sometimes they ring a bell every so often as a reminder to come back to your breath. If you continue to practice mindfulness, you may find yourself slipping into the gap between thoughts. And that gap, it is said, is the doorway to universal truth. Thanks for joining me. May you enjoy the peace, joy, and healing that comes from spending time in the silence. If you found this episode helpful, please take a second to click the like button and subscribe. It'll help me get this message out to other people who can benefit from it. I'll see you again next week. Until then, be kind to yourself and each other.